turn around, and somebody's sleeping in the tent behind me.
Out in the wilderness, solitude is often sold as peace, a chance to disconnect from noise and rediscover silence. Millions venture into forests and remote clearings each year, believing isolation means safety. But distance from civilization can also mean distance from help. When the sun drops and the trees stop moving, every sound feels closer, and every shadow feels deliberate. What happens when you realize you may not be as alone as you thought? Tonight, we examine 3 of the most disturbing solo camping encounters, all captured by real people, on real cameras. Our first one is from the YouTube channel Venture Unbound, run by a solo camper who documents wilderness trips across the UK. The channel focuses on pushing past fear and testing gear in remote locations. In February 2025, the creator ventured into a country park woodland to test a new bivy tent for the first time. It was supposed to be a simple overnight gear test. It became something far more unsettling. The campsite sat near a dirt track and footpath, partially hidden by trees, but close enough to hear passing walkers. As he set up camp, he wandered deeper into the woods and stumbled upon something strange. Stone ruins, a circular pit, half a building, purpose unknown.
So this is quite cool. It's like a building, or at least half of one. I don't even know what it is. It's like these stone objects in a big pit. That's strange. You know what though, this would be a really good spot for a camp. If you had the tarp going across on each 4 corners and then your tent down there, that's a really good spot. Finding new stuff in this area. Oh, you never know, it could be a place where they do like witchcraft and that, so, and potentially sacrifices. So if I go missing.
He joked nervously about witchcraft and sacrifices, then returned to his tent as darkness fell. By nightfall, he was alone. The temperature dropped to 12 degrees. He cooked a simple meal by firelight, then witnessed an owl glide silently overhead.
Oh, owl. I don't know if you see it there. It's in the trees. You might be able to see its eyes with a reflection. Oh wow. That's incredible. Oh wow. It's just flown over there. That's amazing.
The woods felt peaceful. He filmed the darkness with his lantern, showing viewers how isolated he truly was.
So, I did say that I'd show you what it looks like in the dark. This is what it's like when it's pitch black. This is what it's like when you put the lantern on. And it's very creepy. Like, when you need to go to the toilet in the night, it's so spooky. Like, you just see a random tree just dotted there, and it's so like, whoa! It's like a person stood there, but yeah, it's quite a creepy feeling when it's dark like this. But yeah, it's looking quite good now. I think I'm gonna go.
The trees looked like figures. Every shadow felt alive. He climbed into the cramped bivy tent and zipped himself in, leaving a small gap for condensation.
So this is what it looks like inside the tent. Now, there's not a lot of room at the bottom really for your legs at all, but it's okay for tonight. It's only a one-man bivy tent, so it's to be expected. The only problem I have with it is this roof does kind of sink towards you. There's not a lot of room really. There's nothing holding that up either. I don't know if there's a hook outside. I'll have to check that. See if there's a hook to maybe like attach some like guy line or something and attach it to a tree to lift it up maybe. That might help. But this is how much headroom you've got. You've got another like head distance from the ceiling. You also have this hook here that you can attach another light, like a small light. I obviously can't put my lantern on that. It's too big and it would hit me on the head in the night, but it's not too bad. The only problem I've seen online about trespass bivy tents like this one is they get a lot of moisture like when you're in them. So I might just leave this zip open just a little bit to let a bit of that moisture out and that condensation, and hopefully it won't be that bad in the morning. But we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna get some sleep now and test it out, see how it goes, see if I get some sleep. Last time when I was in the hammock tent I only had about 2 hours sleep. That wasn't the best night ever really. But we'll see how this one goes. It's not a hammock tent, it's a lay flat, you know, on the ground tent. So we'll see how it goes and I will see.
Then he tried to sleep. Hours later, something woke him. Footsteps, multiple sets, voices. A torch beam swept across his tent,
Turn around, there's somebody sleeping in the tent behind me. There. There's a tent right there, bro.
He sat frozen, listening. The voices grew closer. He unzipped the tent and stepped out into the freezing darkness, confronting them directly. Young men, maybe in their 20s, standing 20 feet away with torches. They seemed startled to find someone camping there, apologetic even. But why were they there at that hour? Back inside the tent, he filmed a shaken update.
So I've just been woken up by some lads walking through the woods with a torch. They shined it on my tent. They've gone over down to where the circular brick thing was. The young lads anyway, probably in the 20s. Should be fine. Startled me a bit. I was like, whoa, who are you? You know, sort of thing. They didn't come up to the tent. They were about 20 feet away, but still. When it's dark like this and there's no one about. Yeah, it's a bit weird. But yeah, they're just over there now. They've got the torches going, so yeah, a bit weird, but in a strange sense, it's kind of nice that people are here. Even though I don't want people here, it's they seem friendly enough. They seemed look, they were quite apologetic. They were like, really sorry for waking you up. You know, I was like, ah, it's fine, don't worry about it. Yeah, see you later. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna try and well, I don't know, it might take me a while to nod off now that people are around, even though they're alright, they seem alright. And it's freezing tonight, really cold. So yeah, I'll see you guys.
His voice betrayed the fear he was trying to rationalize. They seemed friendly enough, he told himself. Just guys messing around in the woods past 11 at night. But the unease lingered. He tried to sleep again, hyper-aware of every sound. The condensation dripped onto his face. The cold seeped through his sleeping bag. Every branch snap could have been footsteps returning. Morning came slowly.
And another thing that kept me up last night wasn't the lads, it was the tent itself. Now, with it being a bivvy tent, it's a small amount of space. Water can gather because of condensation, and I had that issue last night. And with it being a trespass tent as well, I've read reviews online, and apparently it's really bad for getting like loads of condensation on top of the walls and on the sides of the tent, so on the ceiling of the tent. So it's not the best tent, I'd say. I mean, for around £50 you get what you pay for, I guess. But yeah, it was just on top of the ceiling here, dripping down on me, and I'd move around in my sleeping bag and I'd just get soaked. I can already feel it now, like on my hands, just like water, like condensation. It's not good. It's quite an uncomfortable feeling, to be fair. But what a beautiful morning it is.
He packed up quickly, reflecting on the encounter. The strangers had apologized. They hadn't approached the tent directly. They were probably harmless. But the question remained unspoken in his voice as he packed away the damp gear and left the woods behind. If they were just out for fun, why did they walk deep into the forest in the middle of the night with torches? And what would have happened if he hadn't confronted them first? Our second one is from the YouTube channel Exploring with Bear, run by Jared Bear. The channel focuses on solo camping adventures in remote and allegedly paranormal locations across Ohio and the surrounding region. It was uploaded in January 2026. Bear returned to a wooded area where he'd experienced something disturbing during a previous live stream. He'd left a jar of peanut butter as a Bigfoot offering a week earlier, and this night, he planned to check on it and investigate deeper into the forest. The temperature was below freezing, the forest pitch black.
Where'd we leave it? It was over here. So it's gone.
When he reached the spot, the entire jar was gone, not opened, not scattered, completely removed. He pushed further into the woods, moving slowly through dense brush and standing water.
Holy smokes, look at this. Look what I just noticed. Look at this. Look at that. This is woven. This is right where I heard the... Whoa, I just fell. This is right where I heard the big thing at the other night. Oh my goodness. Look at this thing.
His light caught something unusual. Branches had been deliberately woven together, forming an unnatural structure near the exact spot where he'd heard something massive moving during his last visit. The interlacing was precise, intentional. He called out into the darkness. No response.
Ooh. That was a whistle.
Then he heard it. A whistle. Sharp, deliberate, echoing through the trees.
Oh, I see a light. I see. There's a light. There's a light.
Suddenly, a light appeared in the distance. Then another. Voices. 2 people moving through the forest toward him. Bear dropped behind the woven structure, his breathing erratic, watching the beam sweep closer.
I'm behind that woven thing. What if they're coming to this?
He was trapped. The strangers were heading directly toward the structure. He sat frozen, waiting for them to pass. Minutes stretched. Eventually, the lights receded. He started back toward his tent, moving without his flashlight to avoid detection.
What was that? What was that? Something just moved. Something just moved. Man.
Then something moved, close. He heard branches snapping, weight shifting in the underbrush.
I know you guys heard that up there. I'm telling you, there's something big back there too.
The sounds grew louder. Something large was paralleling his path. He kept moving, eventually reaching the tent and sitting in total darkness, listening. He tried to rationalize it. Maybe the strangers were also looking for Bigfoot. Maybe his whistles had drawn them in, but it didn't explain what he had heard on the walk back.
Okay, so I do keep smelling something. I keep smelling something. I don't know how to explain it. It's like burning, but not burning. Sulfurish? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what to call that.
Inside the tent, he began noticing a smell. Not quite burning, not quite wood. Something sawdust-like, organic, drifting in and out.
That was that whistle.
The whistle returned, closer now.
Something just threw something at the tent, man.
Then impact. Something struck the tent.
Something's right outside the tent. Holy smokes, man. Something's breaking stuff right outside the tent. It threw something on the tent.
He heard movement directly outside, objects being thrown or broken against the fabric. He shouted into the void. No answer.
Is that a person or animal? It's a person.
When he finally shone his light out, he saw a figure, human-shaped, but the beam faltered, flickering uselessly.
Did I just see eyes over there? I feel like that was a person, but I don't know. I don't know. Oh my goodness. What is that?
He spotted something in the tree line. Eyes, maybe. Movement. His light failed completely.
There's something right back there right now. Oh, it just moved. What does that do? What is that? That's it. I can't stay here. And whatever was right up on my...
Whatever had been at his tent was now in the woods behind him, shifting, watching.
What is that back there? Is it coming up on camera? It don't matter. I'm gonna pack up and get out of here. I can't stay here tonight.
He made the decision. He couldn't stay. Bear packed his gear and left the site before dawn. In the footage, you can hear the tension in his voice, the way his hands shake as he films. He admits he's armed but refuses to let it escalate. The video ends abruptly as he prepares to leave. He never returned to that location. The woven structure was never explained. The jar of peanut butter never found. And whatever made that smell, that whistle, those footsteps in the frozen dark, it's still out there. So the question remains, what exactly was drawn to that clearing, and was it there for the peanut butter or for him? Our next case comes from the YouTube channel, The Abandoned Camper, run by Kristen. The channel focuses on solo camping expeditions across remote Ontario Crown land, often exploring forgotten locations and abandoned structures deep in the wilderness. It was uploaded in July 2021. Kristen had ventured into an unmarked section of Crown land forest, following what appeared to be signs of previous habitation.
So far, it's almost like somebody was living here. I haven't seen any remnants of a building per se, just fire pits, chairs, random buckets, stuff like that. Really old tin cans, so that's usually a sign that someone was here a long time ago.
Old fire pits, rusted tin cans, weathered chairs scattered in the underbrush, evidence that someone had lived there, though no structure was visible. An overgrown trail led downhill toward a lake she could see through the trees. She followed it, searching for water and a place to set up her hammock.
Oh, starting to see some wood planks. So along the trail here.
Then she noticed wood planks along the trail, deliberate, arranged.
Oh my God!
What she found next stopped her cold.
And you all know where I'm staying tonight. Hopefully inside that building.
A structure emerged from the forest, large, collapsing, overtaken by moss.
Crown land, so it must have been built a very long time ago. Look at all the moss. Amazing. Wow. And this was a big building. Must have been someone's cabin. The water's right there. So this would have been...
It had been a cabin once, substantial, built right at the water's edge. The moss coverage suggested it had been abandoned for decades, long before the land was designated as Crown land. But something about it felt wrong.
I don't know. Look at that floor. It doesn't look any better inside. So I am not going to take a chance. I'm going to stay outside of this building.
She approached cautiously. The floor inside had rotted through completely, the walls leaning at unnatural angles. She decided immediately she wouldn't risk staying inside. The structure was unstable, dangerous. She would set up her hammock nearby instead, close enough to observe it, but far enough to avoid collapse.
As soon as I got out of those bushes, all the frogs jumped into the water.
As she moved toward the water, the frogs scattered violently, jumping into the lake en masse.
Lots of noises happening around me and distractions, but anyways, there's a plant right here that's one of those insect-eating plants. So these little clear balls, as soon as an insect lands on them, it leaves this sticky residue that bugs.
She noticed carnivorous plants along the bank, their sticky bulbs glistening. The forest felt different here, older.
I finally found somewhere to tie up for the night. It's a little bit far from the cabin. No, not too far. It's about, I don't know, 25 feet away from the cabin.
She found 2 trees about 25 feet from the cabin and began setting up.
This is so awesome. I love being here. cooking food outside an abandoned cabin.
By evening, she had a fire going just outside the structure's perimeter, the abandoned walls looming behind her in the fading light.
So I'm in the hammock. I hope you guys can hear that. There's some loons going off.
Once inside her hammock, she heard loons calling across the water, their cries echoing off the cabin's hollow interior.